In the meantime, of course, we're turning it over to the kitchen. Jason Michael Thomas is in with Urban Ag Indy. What is your take? What is your approach to a new year every year? Do you do resolutions, Jason?
I don't think I typically do resolutions.
Okay.
I guess at that time of year, we always want to, at this time of year,
yeah,
we always do want to kind of look at the year in retrospect.
Right.
And I think it is important to kind of look back and see if you've
just say what can I
accomplished
do
some
better
things.
type of deal.
So yeah, I think this whole season I'm in a cycle of eating a lot and also getting back into working out a lot.
Right.
Things like
well,
that.
Maybe some people, they just want to be better in the kitchen, perhaps. I feel like that's always a good goal, right? So you're going to help us out with that.
Absolutely.
Are deviled eggs one of those things, either you love them or you just don't? What do you think?
That is such a good question. I take them to parties sometimes, and you know, it's been a minute since I've taken them to a party.
Well,
but we're hoping for 2021 we'll bring back the parties.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, they always disappear very quickly.
Yeah.
So I tend to think that yes, probably most people really like them, and then some people are like, not for me, no thank you.
Now see, I will say they're not all created equal because some people make them better than others. So I'm curious as to how you make them and what you think if you do this, they're going to be a little bit better.
Yeah, well, I think that the first difficulty is just making sure the eggs are boiled properly.
Yes.
And not too cooked, not too undercooked.
Yeah.
A lot of variables go into this. And then how do you boil the egg? So I think that's the one thing I've researched a bit and I wanted to talk about. One is... What was that? No,
I said please do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious because I'm a little perplexed in my mind. What do you mean? How do you boil them? You put them in water and you boil them until they're done, right? I know there's more to this than just that.
I have found it's best to start with the eggs in the water and to bring them to a boil.
Okay, as opposed to boil the water.
Not just dropping them in because that can really cook the outside of the white a little faster.
All right.
But I do think that method does work.
Start with the eggs in the water.
And so many times I have been proven wrong by many other people. There's more than one way to do things, I've learned.
That's true. That's true.
But also some really important things. Salt in the water, and we'll just go ahead and add some water here. Add some salt to the water. And people always ask how much, and I eyeball a lot of things. But this is probably when you've got a couple quarts of water. 2 really big pinches with all my fingers. And then the other thing you want to add is some vinegar, and I've got some vinegar in this bottle.
Oh, now this I do not do. Why do I need to do this, Jason?
So vinegar actually helps a few things. The salt and vinegar do similar things, but slightly different. So when you add the vinegar to the water, it will help seal any cracks. So if you have a cracked egg, it'll stop that from leaking out into the water. And so salt is also known to do that. But vinegar also softens the shells. So
should you take this approach even when you're not making deviled eggs and you're just boiling eggs and you want to eat them later?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I really believe that it helps. And then so bring it to a boil, and we don't have time to do that on live TV.
Unfortunately.
But we'll get them going as we during the break here.
Okay.
And so that's one way to really help get a nice peel. And the next thing is, what kind of egg are you using? First of all, I really recommend using a local farm egg if you can get your hands on them. Lots more vitamins and minerals in the yolks of those eggs. It's been measured, 5 to 30 times, depending on what nutrients we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because the chickens run around in the field and they're picking bugs and eating grass and eating all kinds, in addition to some feed that the farmers typically give them, some nice healthy feed. And the other thing is, you don't want to use the freshest egg. The fresher the egg, the harder it will be to peel. So there's a water test, actually. You can actually find out how old your eggs are. And if you look in here, if you look in here, I actually held back some eggs. I get fresh eggs all the time from my friend Kyle Becker.
Yes.
And so some of the eggs stand up just a little bit in the water. This one's standing up. I hope you can all see this. When they're really lie flat, they're super duper fresh. And you can see these are just starting to lift. Now when the egg floats, they say that it's not anymore really safe to eat. But when it's standing up like this guy, see this one? He'll stand back up for us, right? Not the freshest egg, but it is an egg that is perfect for boiling.
Interesting.
It really is, and it makes it easier to peel.
I did not know
I have learned this from years of experience. A private dinner some time ago, it's probably 5 years ago, we were trying to do like a 5-6 minute egg, which is really runny yolk still, and we could not get those things peeled because they were so fresh. They came out of my coop. So I had them like that day, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's a nightmare. But anyway, we figured out some solutions to it.
Yeah.
But, so there's that. What kind of egg, and then
know.
knowing these little tricks, right? And the float test is a good way to find out if your eggs are still fresh.
Very quickly, because I know there's a lot
Yes,
to get to, and
yes.
we'll do that with Tracy. But how long do you let them boil? How do you know when they're ready to go?
Very good question. So I like to do 9 minutes. 10 minutes.
Not 10.
Can go over a little bit.
Oh, for real? Oh, you
It's
are
not-
being serious.
I am being dead serious. And it's when they come to a boil. You got to watch the pot,
Okay.
and it will boil. And then you watch it, and you do 9 minutes. 8
Okay.
will work too. 10 or 11 starts to get a little tough. And the yolks, when you have those green yolks on the
Yeah.
outside of your egg, that's because there's a reaction because it was cooked too long.
Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. I get busy with kids, and I just let them sit in that water for way too long. That's what I'm doing. Jason, thank you so
You are
much. So much
welcome.
more coming up. Of course, we're going to do the filling and all that jazz here in just
Absolutely.
a little bit. Tracy, not 10 minutes.
No.
9.